that Prop F is going to go down in session. What a drag. What a drag.
I need a microphone. H. Brown, H. Brown, Supervisor Judge Sandoval is here with his wife. And he is willing to speak to you, but you need to run over there. He's on the deck. And promise him that you'll be nice to him. He's a little nervous.
I just blasted him.
Good, then you got it out of your system.
And Dean Preston is here as well, who is also willing to speak to you after more results. So Supervisor Sandoval is here with his wife. They're very nice people. Supervisor Sandoval is running for judge, and I did vote for him. And here he comes, and H. Brown is going to interview him. And here he is. This is Judge Sandoval and H. Brown.
Sit down. This is Supervisor Judge Sandoval. He's going to be a judge. The reason that I know this for sure, we didn't have any returns. Did you know what Prop F was?
No, I did not know that. What are the latest results?
35%. We're losing 2 to 1, 25,000 in 12, and the winning 25,000 in 12.
So it's 2 to 1 against Prop F.
Yeah. You know why you're going to be a judge?
I'm the best qualified candidate running. That's why, and I can be a very fair judge, and I got new ideas to make us all safer and administrative justice in a lot better way.
Did you? You knew this all the way back to last November. You were running like the Cheshire Cat, and I finally realized why. Tell me why. Be honest. Why did you have this sewed up all the way back to November?
Well, H, I wouldn't say that I have it sewed up. In fact, early results right now show me in second place. So I'm hopeful that by the end of the night that I'm going to win this thing, but I wouldn't sit here right now and tell you that I have it sewed up. But, you know, the point is that 3 of the last 4 governors have been Republicans, and that's why we have a bench in San Francisco and all of California that really doesn't represent the state or the city. And I think in San Francisco that's going to be a message that's going to carry the day. That's why, in the end, I'm going to win.
He's going to win definitely, but not for those reasons. He's going to win because his opponents are, one's named Mallon and the other one's named Mellon. Half of San Francisco's got him dyslexia. So they're going to go, what? 1, 1, 1, 1. You're going to win with a 30, 35, 40% dollar. Want that?
Well, I probably should do the judicious thing and not bet, particularly here in the air, but a gentleman's bet would be, I think that it's going to be a very close race all the way to the end of the night.
You're going to be the judge, Gerardo, but listen, tell me about the national ticket. Barack Obama went over the delegate count tonight and he didn't concede. What do you think of that? Who'd you back in the election first?
Well, you know, there's a funny thing when you're running for judge is that you're not allowed to endorse anybody. And I actually did early on, and my opponents complained to the state bar. So if you're an attorney, that's that's like complaining to your mother, the Pope, and Sister Teresa all at once. So at this point, I got to tell you what I think about the race generally, rather than tell you who I support and so forth. I wish I could tell you, but I think the important thing is the Democrat win, and that we end the war in Iraq, and we do something about the environment, and we rebalance the Supreme Court, and that's what's important. If Barack can do those things, that's great. If he can do it with Hillary as his running mate, that's all the better. But the important thing is that Barack win, and that we get those things done.
I keep forgetting about the firewall there. I wouldn't want to get anybody at all in trouble with their bar because I know how important bars are to me. But thanks a lot. Can you talk about local propositions? You can't talk about specific candidates. Can you talk about propositions?
I am not supposed to endorse any of these measures. I have to say that is a rule that is not a law. It's not passed by the legislature, but it is something that basically the bar and the judges and the people in the status quo, the people who are in positions of power, have developed, and they've developed that rule for a reason. To stay in power, to keep the levers of power to themselves. I'm not happy with it, but I'm not supposed to endorse or publicly support and make statements in favor or against any measures. I give you my analysis of them. Prop A, for example, the school partisan tax. With the governor's cuts, we've gone from 46th in the nation in per pupil spending to last in the nation. It doesn't take a genius to figure out with California's economy that doesn't make any sense at all. And really, we're talking about poor kids who are getting the short end of it. With Prop G and F, it really is a battle between the big guy and the little guy. Prop G has got an out-of-town developer who's spending reportedly more than $4 million to get its way, and Prop F by comparison is something that asks for a degree of affordable housing that if the developer had been smart, they would have told us from the outset what it was they were promising. We asked them on the Board of Supervisors in the Land Use Committee that I sit on, how much affordable housing is there going to be, and we always got vague and ambiguous answers. They were never willing to commit to anything, and that's why I think this measure, Prop F, ended up on the ballot. The early results that may show it losing Prop F are based on absentees. We all know that the absentees trend conservative.
They're going to be 35% this time of the vote.
Well, what percent of the vote?
We're guessing, Comstock's guessing 35%, and I agree with you.
Well, let's hope that he's wrong, and I think by the end of the night, when all the tenants vote, all the election day voters vote, it's going to be a lot closer than we think. Those are really the important measures on the ballot right now.
The nuts and bolts, if and you are going to be elected, when you're elected, when do you take office, and do you vacate that office before your term ends, the election term?
If I win the judge's race, I would take office in January of 2009, which coincides with the time I leave office at the Board of Supervisors. I would not resign my seat on the board early. I plan to be there to the end of my term, and there's no way that that can change. There's no possibility that I could assume the duties of the judge early, so I can guarantee you that I'll be there to the end.
Can you talk about votes on the board today?
Yeah, absolutely. That's my job.
The CJC came in, Duffy came in and asked that with the 7-4 measure. Tell the people, this is a community justice center. We have a community court system in San Francisco that hasn't been properly funded by the administration and hasn't been staffed by the district attorney's office. You're an attorney. This thing passed by 7-4. What do you think of the CJC
board? I told Bevan Duffy, who was the mover of today's measure, that I would help him get it to the full board so they could be in discussion, but I haven't made up my mind. I have talked to some of my former colleagues at the Public Defender's Office, and I'm the former public defender here. I've talked to a lot of progressive folks over there who work on the criminal justice side, and they're not altogether against it. A lot of people there from that side are in favor of it. They're willing to give it a try, but at the same time, I recognize that these kinds of programs have the real danger of targeting the homeless and basically giving people an excuse to arrest them and bring them into the criminal justice system, which is not a good thing. Now, if they're going to be providing many more services, and the mayor wants to spend a whole lot more on wraparound services, mental health services, and so forth, and that's a good thing. And so the question at this point in my mind is, why don't we do it through the existing programs? Why do we need a new court to do this? But I think clearly people would all agree that we need to try something different. People need more services, and that's what the discussion is going to be about.
Why not just fund the community court system that you have?
Well, that's the question I have. Why not fund the pretrial diversion program that we have? And not only that, but the issue really is, to me, as a former public defender, is what kind of cases are going to get into this community court and who's going to decide. So, for example, a lot of times the tough cases, which are uneligible for pretrial diversion, you got an 18-year-old person who's got a 18-year-old person who is accused of having 2 or 3 rocks and crack cocaine. They're accused of possession with intent to sell. Right now, that person would not qualify for